everyone, welcome back to my channel. Beforehand, I would like to tell you guys that today's video is gonna be in English because I got a lot of questions about this from people all around the world. So I would like to give an answer, like a general answer for everyone so everyone would understand. It's about my life as a postgraduate dermatology student in South Korea. Okay, so if you're interested to know more about lives, the good and the bad, and all my current experiences here, keep on watching. So yeah, a little background about myself. So I've been here for around 2 years now. I've had my medical degree back in China for 6 years, and if you guys don't know, I came from Indonesia. So yeah, I'm all over the place right now. But I think since I've been here for 2 years, I'm ready to share with you guys my experiences and answer you guys all the questions that you guys most commonly ask me about. First, a little disclaimer. I'm sharing my personal experiences based on my current situations being admitted to Seoul National University, and then I also want to let you guys know that the living cost that I'm gonna be telling you guys further in this video is a living cost for those of you who are living downtown. If you're admitted to College of Medicine, College of Biology, you're gonna be in this one campus located in Haehwa, or also called Daehangro. So this location is pretty much in the center of the city. It's very convenient to get anywhere around the city. The subway is just around, and then the Gyeongbokgung Palace is just a few minutes walk by. So yeah, that's a little disclaimer. So the living cost is gonna be based on living on the middle of the city. And then regarding admissions and everything, eligibility to be admitted to the campus, you can check out my blog because I've write the whole thing there, my experience, how I got here, what's needed, what should be taken, English proficiency test or a Korean test. You can check out on my blog because I wrote everything there, and then you can check out our school websites to get to know more about the submission date, the specific date. So yeah, first is about the living cost here. So before we talk about living costs, I will let you guys know that the tuition fee here is around 6 million Korean won per semester. And then for a master integrated PhD degree, courses last for 3 years, which means 6 million Korean won times 6, which is 36 million Korean won in total. But I will talk later further about scholarships and stuff like that in the next sections, but you don't have to worry. I just want to let you know. And then for housing, there are several options for housing in the Seoul National University Hospital. First, and the most convenient and the cheapest version one is, of course, the dormitory. So the dormitory costs, there are two types of dormitory. First, the single room dormitory, and then the double room dormitory. For the single room dormitory, it costs 1.8 million Korean won per semester. And so in the double room where you live with another roommates, it will cost you around 800,000-ish Korean won per semester. So yeah, that's for the housing here, the first options. And the second options, of course, you can live outside of the dormitory, if you want to rent an apartment or a personal space. For the renting fee itself, it varies, of course, from place to place, from facilities to facilities. But in general, in the middle of the town, it costs around 450,000 Korean won to 500-600,000 Korean won. But that's for the monthly fees, but you have to put on a deposit here for around 10 million Korean won. Yes, that much needed. So basically, if you put more deposits in the Korean deposit system, the lower the monthly payment you can get. So if you put 20 million Korean won, you can get your monthly rent cost a lot cheaper if you put more on the deposit itself in the first place. For the last options, for housing options, is the Goshiwon. I used to live there on the first semester of me living here. So basically Goshiwon is like a housing system in Korea where you live in a room. It's a very small room, usually just 2 times 3 meters, like just a bed, tables with TV and everything. And usually they have toilet inside, or sometimes the toilet can also be outside. So it's like a common public toilets. So yeah, the cost for a Goshiwon itself is 500,000 Korean won, including mostly everything, basically like including electricity bill and then waters, internet, TV, like basically everything. It's kind of pricey comparison to the like one room apartment rent or something like that, but you don't have to put on the deposits. So let's move on. We're now gonna be talking about food. There are also several options for food. There are food for like a budget food, and then there's like a very high-end food and things like that. But in around the hospitals in general, there are canteen food. The price range is around 3,800 Korean won up to 5,000 Korean won. It's like a basic canteen food. You eat with other students and stuff like that. I would say I'm not a picky eater and I really enjoy food in the canteen because there are like very healthy and there are various kind of types of food every day, and you don't really have to think about what type of food should I get today and stuff like that. It saves me a lot of time to stop thinking about what should I get for lunch, what should I get for dinner. And for eating out, I would say that the price range is around 7,000 Korean won up to unlimited actually, but around this hospital maybe 7,000 Korean won up to 15 or 16,000 Korean won per meal. So yeah, it's basically, again, you can adjust them based on your budget. And next I'll talk about transportation fee. So since I live in the dormitory, I basically do not like commute anywhere during the weekdays, especially because the dormitory to my laboratory and hospital is just like 3 minutes to 5 minutes walk by. Transport system in Korea is one of the best that I've ever experienced actually in this world. And for the bus and the subway fee, it costs around 1,250 Korean won, and then plus minus maybe 100 to 500. And then for the taxi itself, the fare starts from 3,800 Korean won with 1,200 Korean won additions per miles. So I gotta cheat a little because I don't take taxi or cab often here, and I prefer to take the subway or either the bus because they're very convenient and a lot cheaper. So yeah, here I mentioned to you guys a lot of like a wide range of prices. Of course, it can be various from person to person. It can be adjusted based on your lifestyle, based on your living budget. And yeah, but I do think you've got the options for everything. If you're living on a budget, you have the options actually. And if you want a very like a bougie life, there are like plenty of places to be bougie in Korea, so you don't have to worry about that. So now moving on to what I love and what I don't really expect coming here. So let's start with the good one probably. So yeah, the first thing that I love like coming here is the very well organized and very sophisticated school system here. So everything is computerized. You can get an ID and there's like a school website portal, so you can like basically do everything there. Class registration, class transfers, when you want to see your grade, even like food on canteen, and like it's everything there. This is something that I've never experienced with my previous university in China, so this is new to me. I don't know if this is a very common in all university all over the world, but yeah, it's a really great systems. And the second one that I love is the professional teacher or advisor here. So when they say, so if you've read my blog, I've mentioned that we have to take class and some in English and some in Korean. But for the one in English, I'm very satisfied with the teaching quality and with the teacher capability of speaking English properly. As you know, like Korea is not an English speaking country by itself, but I'm very satisfied that all their staffs and professors are they're very fluent in English, so you can get as much information as you needed as a student. So yeah, I don't find any language barrier between student and teachers for their English courses, and that's I'm really happy with. And the next one that I like is a lot of scholarship chances. So yes, I've mentioned the tuition fee. I would say that it's not the most expensive one since this is a public school. So yeah, there are a lot of like scholarship opportunities, starting from like professor scholarships and then faculty scholarships, university scholarship, government scholarships, and a lot more types of scholarship. It usually comprise the tuition fee and also a monthly allowance fee for every one of you. You don't really have to worry, especially for international student. Yeah, as long as you perform just like above average, just like they don't have a really high standards for it, like you don't have to be like a genius to get a scholarship, but as long as you perform well and then you follow all the rules here, you don't break any laws or like you don't go wild, you come to classes, you can definitely get a scholarships here in South Korea. And the next one, the thing that I like is the facility. As yeah, I've told you that my life rotate around this hospital bubble, and I do think that it's a very well equipped and the facilities are really great here. The food is good from the canteen, and then you know the buildings are really great, and then the classes are very much well maintained. Yeah, so simple things that I really enjoy from living here. So yeah, so basically you don't really have to worry about the quality of the buildings, the living spaces, the food and everything. They even have like a gym facilities in my dormitory, and they also have like another gym places for staff and faculty just a few minutes walk by. And the last one but not the least, great things about living here and studying here is the freedom to explore your creativity in research as much as possible. I would admit that they have a lot of like budget, or not budget, like fundings for social science research here. So yeah, you don't have to really worry about not getting patients or like not having funding for doing a clinical trials, or you cannot buy any specific regions because they are too expensive. They have a lot of budget here as long as you have like prepare a good research plan and they're very promising. They would let you buy basically anything. So that's the good thing, as long as you can like just contribute to the university, or maybe publish and put their name up high in the Nature or Cell or all the high impact factors like journal. They would be glad to like give you the money to spend on any. That's all the things that I love. Let's move on to the unexpected one. So there are a few things, unexpected things, that you should probably consider, or myself consider, for my past self before I came here. So yeah, first and foremost, of course, it can be a little lonely here living in this hospital bubbles. So yeah, there are not a lot of like international students, to be honest, in comparisons to the other campus. So yeah, you have basically a very limited amount of international friends here, or international community even. So yeah, and as much as you're like outgoing or as friendly as you are, if there's like a language barrier, it's still kind of hard to get in touch with like your local Korean friends. But if you love living by yourself, you enjoy it, so yeah, you don't have to really worry about it. But if you're someone who's very social, you must really think about it, that the hospital lives and the research life can be a little lonely here. You need to put a lot of effort for it. It's either you're learning their language, their Korean language, or you're lucky enough to find some Korean friends who are very comfortable speaking in English with you. And the second one is there are little to no holiday. As you are here not only as a student, of course, you are a part of the research team. You're gonna be treated or considered as a student X research team member, which like quote to quote like a worker there in the lab. So in my case, I only get 10 working days holiday in within a year. I wouldn't say it's really bad because I heard that there are like a few other department that only allows like 2 working days holiday for their students. That's really bad, but it can vary from department to department, from professors to professors. Of course, you can negotiate with them if there's something urgent or things like that back in your home country and things like that, but in general the rules are 10 working days in a year. So just now my camera turned off, and yeah, so hopefully this time it works. But yeah, for the next thing that I didn't expect coming here, but you should totally consider of before coming, is that due to the cultures in Korea and the education systems here in Korea, you don't have as much power to actually decide by yourself on which project that you are going to work on. I mean, let's say like for me, before I came here, I was more interested in the aesthetic dermatology kind of research, but then I got assigned to a professor whose field of interest is melanoma and wound. So yeah, you don't actually have that much of a decision power. You just have to follow your professors, take the best out of their knowledge. That's kind of strange, but yeah, that's what it is, right? So you get to learn from them, learn as much as you can. Right now I'm doing mostly melanoma and wound research, which I'm not complaining because in the end I really enjoy it after doing it for a while. Unless you got a scholarship from a specific professors whose field of interest you known of beforehand before you came here, that's another story. But if you admitted through the university, you will get assigned randomly to just any professors here with all their different kind of field of interest. So yeah, I think that's it for today. So I've talked about the tuition fee, the living cost. In the end, after living here for 2 years, I ended up really loving living in Korea, minus that I miss my friends, my family, and Indonesian food back in my hometown. But yeah, I'm totally good right now. Any more questions, make sure to first check out my blog post there. Maybe I've wrote like 2 series on the dermatology school kind of things. So yeah, make sure to check that out first, and then if you have any more questions, you can drop them down in my email or in the comments down below. So thank you for watching. Hope this helps you guys who are considering coming here, so you get to know, you get to prepare and estimate before you came here. If you ended up coming here, don't forget to let me know. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys next time. Bye!